Hello there, friends. It's Jimmy Maverick. Welcome to another edition of the Fantasy Maverick podcast. And today we are going to do a mock draft for the Fantasy Football Players Championship. I just gave myself 3 entries into this high stakes league, and we're going to try a mock draft on FantasyPros with the settings for this league. It is a PPR with a tight end bonus. It's pretty cool, and my app is optimized for that kind of draft, so you definitely want to check it out. Here we go.
Listen up. It's time for the Fantasy Maverick podcast, starring the guy who's going to help you win that fantasy championship, Jimmy Maverick.
Fantasy Maverick podcast, and today we are going to do a practiced high stakes draft. I've been involved in high stakes leagues for the past couple of seasons, and I've been playing on the Fantasy Football Players Championship website, and they have a Football Guys league, which is a $350 entry. That's the ones that I do. They also have one that's like a $1,500 entry. That's a little bit too rich for my blood, but I do enjoy the high stake leagues. You can tell that everybody you're playing with is a good fantasy player. They know their stuff. It's very competitive. And I got to say, I've had real good success with it. I've done a total of 8 leagues over the past 2 seasons, and I have won 3 of them. There you go, right there. I run one out of 3 in 2020 and 2 out of 5 in I won 1 out of 3 in 2019 and 2 out of 5 in 2020. So very good. I was very excited for that. Believe me, the money helped me upgrade my studio here and get these nice jerseys up here. So anyway, it's a fun thing to do. The league, the FFPC, it's a PPR with a tight end premium. So tight ends get 1.5 points per reception, which really increases their value, especially for the elite guys. When we're talking guys like Travis Kelce, he literally is the 3rd most valuable player in those fantasy leagues because of that. I also like the roster construction because it's a 20-round draft, and there's 2 flexes. So again, it gives you lots of flexibility. You can go robust RB. You can start 4 running backs or 4 wide receivers or up to 3 tight ends if you want to. It is just a single quarterback league, which I do like. So why don't we go ahead and do a mock draft on the FantasyPros Mock Draft Simulator. And the reason I got to do it on the simulator is because there's no mock drafts that have this criteria or this setup. So I've set up the custom scoring with the tight end premiums, and the roster is 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, 2 flexes, defense, a kicker, and 10 bench slots. So that's what you get. You're starting 10 players each week. And I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to randomize the draft position 3rd. Oh, okay, that's pretty good. And I've also set the settings so the tight end position values are very high. Running backs are high. The running backs go very quickly in these leagues. But definite premium on both those positions. That actually helps because the quarterback and the wide receivers are tended to be available later because people are taking those tight ends and running backs so early. So we're going to go ahead. We're just going to start the draft, and we're going to use my tool, My Perfect Fantasy Draft, to help us pick players. So I invite you to go to my website, FantasyFootballMaverick.com. That's where you'll find the app. The app is available exclusively through my website. You just access it right here. Just click on it, and when you join a membership, you'll see that it has the FFPC settings for fantasy football. That's this PPR with a tight end at 1.5. So how does your league score points? That's what we're going to select. And do you want to engage Jimmy's recommended player filters? I'm going to say no right now. I just want to see all the players in each round. And then entering draft mode, we're going to put in the size of the league. It is 12-team leagues. So you're 20-round draft, 12-team leagues. And again, we are picking 3rd. That's a nice draft position. Go ahead and enter draft mode. And of course, the big question is do we want to go with Kelce at this point? Or do we want to go Alvin Kamara? I mean, obviously, Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, everyone's going to expect those two to be the top two picks in just about every league that you're doing. But let me just show you, again, this is the draft list. These are the position filters. These are the round filters, so we're just going to go to the first round. I'm going to minimize the recommendations here so we just see the names. And you can see it's recommending Alvin Kamara. That makes sense, and that's normally who I would take. But if you look down here at where is Kelsey's down here. Now, I got to say, there's an issue with my tight end consistency rankings on this list. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to get it fixed, but because of that, he's much lower in the ratings. He'd actually would be right near the top with his consistency rating, which is 10 out of 10. But Kelsey, you can see his value, third. And if you look at Waller, let me just go here, tight end. So Darren Waller, value seventh most valuable player, not seventh tight end. No, seventh most valuable player in the league. Just because of that tight end premium, they score so many points. Kelsey is projected to score over 300 points. Waller's right there at 291 points. No one's going to score more than 313 except for maybe Christian McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook. So that's how it is. Even Kittle. Great value, 12th overall, 270 points. So all these guys are great options, and really we should take our tight end here because if we wait till our second round, till the second round to take a tight end, they're all going to be gone. And one of the things I also do is I restrict myself to the tight ends that are available on my app at each round, as opposed to what the simulator does, because the simulator does not take as many tight ends as you would normally expect. But that's just the way it is. So do we want to go Kelsey, get ourselves our premium top-end tight end, and we don't have to worry about it. We can start stocking everything else after that. I think that's probably a good plan to do. It's hard to pass on Alvin Kamara, and actually, if we look at the rankings, Alvin Kamara is my top-rated choice for this round. Oh boy. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass on all the elite tight ends here. I'm going to go with my elite high-end RB1 to start this draft, and we can go for maybe someone like Mark Andrews, who I really like. TJ Hawkinson would also be great. Nice volume there. I mean, the high volume guy like TJ Hawkinson is going to be really good for this league. But let's go ahead. We'll take Kamara. And so it's just going to run through the draft. And let's just go to the second round here and see who it's recommending. So the app is recommending Keenan Allen, Michael Thomas, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, all great choices. So Keenan Allen, 16th most valuable player in this league. It's a PPR. And Michael Thomas, the 13th most valuable player. Hold on, I got to put my glasses on because I'm totally blind. I can't see anything. There we go, 13th. Okay, Michael Thomas, I got him designated as a bounce back. They're both score very good on the VORC score. That's the value, outlook, reliability, and consistency ratings. That's these four columns over here. They get points. The consistency for Thomas is way better than for Keenan Allen, so that's something to consider. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, though, not a super great value here. I mean, he's still a recommend, 49 VORC points. That's very good. 34th overall. We're at pick 22. I don't like that at all. Let's see who made it also, because DK Metcalf could have made it. Let's see who made it to us. So we're just going to run through here, and I'm going to hide the drafted players so we can see. So you can see Clyde Edwards-Helaire is still there, still on the board. For wide receivers, okay, so Justin Jefferson, DK Metcalf, wow, A.J. Brown, Michael Thomas, all those guys made it. That is pretty awesome. Let's look at the wide receivers here. So some of these guys, there's Justin Jefferson. Oh, there's A.J. Brown. Okay, so, boy, if we want to go, I should be okay with just taking Michael Thomas. I don't know why I'm hesitating here, but I do like the idea of going Metcalf. I do, they're both so close. They're so close in VORC points. I think I got to take Metcalf with my second pick, and let's see who falls to us in the third. We could actually look to the third round. Oh, what running back could we get in the third round? CEH might make it to us. Probably a very slim chance with the 4 picks. Let's see here. Mixon, I think he's already gone. Yeah, Mixon's already gone. But Chris Carson, again, is a better pick because his value is 38th, but we're at pick 27. So he's still overvalued, but only slightly. And he's really good choice. David Montgomery not valued well in this league, probably because he doesn't catch a lot of passes. And let's see, who else do we got? We got J.K. Dobbins, Cam Akers, but really of all the running backs, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the best value. Chris Carson is the second best. So I'm comfortable with going with Carson as our one. But I got to take one of these elite wide receivers. Metcalf, super valuable and a great value at this point in the draft. So let's go ahead and let's just see what happens on the turn here. And okay, Clyde Edwards-Helaire did get taken. That's too bad. That bumps me out. But, again, we talked about sorry about that. Okay, so, we did talk about it. It's also recommending we could go CeeDee Lamb. Now, that's the other thing. To look at the wide receivers, the running backs, not great values. They're not great. If you can't get an elite, and obviously we got Kamara, who is an elite and has the value to back up what he took. We can pass on running backs for a while and just go, just try to roster ourselves in all these other positions. I mean, here, Mark Andrews is a reach. We could take Mark Andrews. His value is 35th overall. Again, a little bit overvalued. Hawkinson, again, because of that TE premium, man, he's projected, what's he projected with? 120 targets, 81 catches. That's great. 242 fantasy points. He's the 28th most valuable player. We're at pick number 27, so he's a fair value right here. If you look at the wide receivers, you can see Keenan Allen and A.J. Brown are long shots. I think they both made it, though. A.J. Brown, Keenan Allen. Yeah, they're both still there, as is Michael Thomas, as is Justin Jefferson. So there are some amazing picks. Look at this. Keenan Allen, 16th most valuable. We're at pick 27. That is awesome. A.J. Brown, 14th most valuable. He is still there. He is still there. Oh, my God. Now A.J. Brown right now dealing with an injury. He is dealing with, what did he do? What do you have? A knee? Is it knee, foot? What the heck happened to him? Surgery. Knees. On both knees. Oh, that's not good. I really would like that to be cleared up before we would go ahead and take him. CeeDee Lamb is a great option here, but his value is so far below, a full round below these other guys. I think of all the ones that are available here, again, I'm not big on Justin Jefferson just because of the regression risk, although at a third round, whoa. I mean, it's hard. 18th overall. So even so, Keenan Allen's better value. Let's go. I'm gonna take Keenan Allen here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for Mark Andrews on the next pick for the fourth round. And Mark Andrews, let's see here. Where's the tight ends? So Mark Andrews is a long shot, but we're just going to assume he makes it to us because we're at pick 46. He's going at 43. Oh boy, that's not great. Who would be after him here? Logan Tom, even with the premium, their values are not great relative to their draft position, and that's it's just the curse of these things. But let's just assume that Mark Andrews makes it to the fourth round for us. We'll go through the long turn here, and I'm okay passing up on Chris Carson. Again, he was the best value of the running backs. If CEH had made it, I probably would have taken CEH. But that's what happens. So, look at this. Holy cow. CeeDee Lamb made it to us. But you could see TJ Hawkinson is still here on the board, but he would not still be available. TJ Hawkinson would be gone. Mark Andrews would probably be gone as well. But if we want to just assume that Mark Andrews makes it, again, we are at pick number 46. His value is 35th overall. That's great value. Let's go ahead and take him as our TE, and that way we don't have to worry about it a whole lot as far as tight ends. We're getting a top 5 tight end for this league, so I like that. And boy, I love our wide receivers, man. Metcalf and Allen, that is awesome. Kamara is a fantastic running back. Let's keep this going. So let's go to the 5th round. You can see that it's recommending Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Chase Edmonds. Okay, so taking it again, we can go for positional dominance here and get ourselves. I mean, someone like Lamar Jackson. I believe I have him statted out as my quarterback 3. I mean, really, it's only like Mahomes and Kyler. I also think is a great upside play this year. I really like them both. They're both read very well. As you can see, they both get really good VORC scores. Obviously, the rushing, they're both good running quarterbacks. We could go Lamar, and he is still available. You can see Josh Allen still on the board here too. And Josh Allen, let's see here. Where is he? If we go to quarterbacks, Josh Allen, there you are. Okay. Josh Allen doesn't rate as well. He doesn't rate as well as Lamar or Kyler. So, and unfortunately, we didn't get Hopkins because you'd love to have the stack with Hopkins and Kyler. But I really like Lamar Jackson. So let's go ahead. We can take Lamar Jackson. Although CeeDee Lamb, oh man, if we go to the 6th round, let's see here. It's saying that all the quarterbacks will be gone. Russell Wilson will be a long shot for the sixth round. Oh, because this is the long round, right? This is the 19 picks. Okay, so if we wanted to take Lamar Jackson, we should take him now. But CeeDee Lamb should not still be available at this point. Oh wait, he is gone. I'm sorry. I don't know where my head is right now. So Chris Godwin. I'm sorry. I was thinking CeeDee Lamb. I don't know what was going on with my brain there. I was seeing someone that wasn't there. Cooper Kupp is a great choice for wide receiver. If we look at the wide receivers here, Cooper Kupp is actually a long shot here. 31st most valuable player. We're at pick 51 right now. So to get the 31st most valuable player at this point in the draft, I think is fantastic. And when we look at at who our quarterbacks are, all these guys are still on the board. Cooper Kupp, we could get Matthew Stafford. I'm really fine with Matthew Stafford this year. I really think he's going to do excellent on that offense. That's why they brought him in. Although it is tough to pass on Lamar, I'm going to wait as long as I can to get myself a quarterback. So let's get Cooper Kupp, 31st most valuable player. And let's look at the 6th round. So for the 6th round, it's recommending Chase Claypool, Robbie Anderson, Logan Thomas. So it's recommending a tight end here. Logan Thomas is a nice fair value play at this point, 69th most valuable player. The best value, though, is Robbie Anderson, 46th most valuable player. Again, we're at pick 70. This is why you go wide receivers in these middle rounds. Like 4 to 8 are so many excellent wide receiver deals that you can get. And Chase Claypool, Robbie Anderson are 2 of them. Jamar Chase, very good value, 57th overall. Any others? Most of these others are a little bit less valuable. They're not quite as good. Juju Smith-Schuster gives you like a full round of value too. Let's look at the running backs here. Mostert, again, not great value. There's Javonte Williams if we wanted to go for our RB2. That might not be a bad choice, Let's see if he makes it here. Let's just look at the board. And you can see, no, it looks like Javonte is gone. That's too bad. James Robinson is still there, although I'm not sure about him. Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert are still there. If we want to do a stack. On the board down here, here's Robbie Anderson. Here's Chase Claypool. The guys in front of him, not super excited with them, but they're good. And then, like I said, it says Logan Thomas is still available. So that could work. I think, let's look at James Robinson. I'm going to restore Robinson onto the list and see how he rates. Where is he? How come I'm not seeing him? All right. So really, if we look at the running backs, they're going quickly. We got Michael Carter, a guy I very much like. There's Trey Sermon. Yeah, Javante's already gone. Let's see here. I'm just trying to think, and we could definitely get them after the turn. We could get someone like Carter after the turn. And I have Carter valued as my RB30, so he's a flex. So that's a little bit of a loss there. We can go for we can go for not really much upside here left. But for our second flex spot, to get someone like Robbie Anderson, again, top 50 value in the 6th round, that's excellent. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna take Robbie Anderson. Now, one thing I want to just mention for those of you that use Fantasy Pros, their analysis at the end of your team, one of the things they do on the flex spots is they devalue all wide receivers below all the running backs, and that I think skews the value of your team to the negative if you slot wide receivers in your flexes, even though this is a PPR league and wide receivers are super valuable. So you can't really take their rate. You got to take their ratings with a grain of salt because of that. Because I did a draft and it gave me a C. It told me it was like it didn't like my team a whole lot. But then I looked at my flexes because I went robust wide receiver, loaded up on near elite wide receivers in the flex spots. And it was ranking me as having the worst flex players of anybody in the league. But it had, I had Robert Woods in my first flex, and it had Damian Harris ranked ahead of Robert Woods in my flex. That doesn't make any sense. That in no way in a PPR league will Damian Harris ever achieve anything close to what Robert Woods will achieve during this upcoming season. So because of that, I don't like their ratings because they're penalizing people who take wide receivers for their flexes, and I don't think that's fair, especially for PPR. Now, we definitely should take another running back. With this pick, it's going to be again a long turn. If we look at so we're at the 7th pick now, right? 7th pick. If we look at the quarterbacks, right now again, this is the time to take Herbert. This is the time to take Rodgers. Russell Wilson is still on the board. That's actually Russell Wilson. Let's restore him. He rates he rates well, 46 work points. That's good. Over 40 is good. I don't like his outlook. He's so inconsistent. But to stack him with DK Metcalf, that would be a nice thing to do. I'm kind of okay with going with Stafford, waiting and just loading up on these other positions. And James Robinson, which I don't know why I don't see him on the – is he coming out? Oh, there he is. Oh, 7th round. There we go. All right, so his value, 109th overall, not great. Obviously, Javonte would have been a little bit better. Outlook isn't great, but I think he's going to be utilized pretty heavily in this offense. He's going to be the 1st and 2nd down back. Etienne, I do very much like Etienne, but Robinson I think is still going to have a role. We take him as our RB2. I think he's a decent low-end RB2 flex, high-end flex kind of play. So why don't we go ahead and we'll do that. And obviously it hurts, what they did. But there's no draft capital for James Robinson, and that's why they took Etienne, and that's why he's getting screwed right now is because of that. It's just like Denver, and what Denver did to Philip Lindsay, right? It's the same kind of thing. So, all right. So we filled out all of our starters except for our quarterback. You can see Justin Herbert made it back to us. That's really, really good. Stacking with Keenan Allen, that's kind of an exciting stack. I like that. Let's just look at the app and see how it rates people for the 8th round. So it's telling us to take Laviska Shenault. Again, another excellent wide receiver with excellent value. Look at that, 44th. This is 4th through 8th round is just prime prime real estate for wide receivers. There's so many good ones. I do love Laviska. I think that's a great choice, great value. Let's look at the other positions though. So again, we could get Herbert right now. And Herbert, 73 VORC points. That's excellent. Now, I do have him tagged as a regression candidate because he did, obviously a rookie record-setting season is what he had last year. Best rookie season of any player in NFL history. That's a lot of pressure. Expectations are exceedingly high at the Chargers right now. But Herbert, I think, would be a great choice in the 8th round. That's really a steal. Let's look at the running backs. Again, did Michael Carter make it back to us? He did not. Michael Carter's gone. We passed on him. We took James Robinson instead. But you can see the other guys here, Ronald Jones, Damian Harris, James Conner. Not super excited with any of them. They score terrible in the VORC. Let's finish out our starters. Let's take Herbert. I like Herbert, man. I mean, that's a great bargain right now. Getting him in the 8th round, that's pretty awesome. And in these leagues, you can oftentimes wait even later to get a quarterback. There was one league that I did in my first year, and like only 3 quarterbacks came off in the first 12 rounds. It was insane. It was insane, the value of quarterbacks that were still available when you are in like the 10th round or 11th round of your draft. And it happens. It happens. And so I like the value here of Herbert, and we got the stack with Keenan Allen. That's awesome. We'll do the short turn, and when we talk about roster construction for this kind of league, what I like to say is for wide receivers, you want the number of wide receiver slots plus the number of flex slots plus 1. That's all the receivers you need. We've already got 4, and we really only need 1 more. All these guys have different bye weeks, and so that's very good. And so we could get ourselves, if we look at the wide receivers here, Jalen Waddle, Mike Williams. Let's see. Did Laviska make it to us? Is Laviska still on the board? I didn't even check. Oh, yeah, he's still there. We could get Laviska. Again, great value play here we are at pick number 99. That's amazing. And that would basically finish up all we need for wide receivers. We could maybe take 1 more later. But then we can just focus on running backs and get ourselves some running backs. So I don't even think we need to take Laviska. He's deep enough. I think he'll make it to the next pick. I really want to get myself, either A.J. Dillon or Gus Edwards. I think both those guys are super important for fantasy this year. You can see here, and Drake didn't make it, right? Drake's gone. Yeah, Drake's gone. So let's go ahead. I'm going to take A.J. Dillon, who's taken over the Jamal Williams role and has, upside potential on that offense. We'll see. And, oh, shoot. I thought it was just a short turn. Yowza. Okay. So I probably missed on Laviska. Oh, I did. Darn it. I misanticipated it. Okay, so here we are, 10th round. If we look at the wide receivers now, Marquise Brown, Jalen Waddle, Michael Gallup, all those guys score pretty well. Are any of them still? Gallup still there? Yep. Marquise Brown is still there. Mike Williams is still there. Okay, so we got some options here for wide receiver. We don't want to wait too long to take our last wide receiver, because once you get past about Russell Gage here, it really isn't very good for wide receivers. I like Gabriel Davis. We can maybe take Gabriel Davis as a flyer, but we really do need to take another wide receiver. And so if we take Gallup, does it say what his bye week is here? Bye 7. So for my wide receiver, I already have Keenan Allen, which has a bye week 7. Although that really doesn't matter too much. Let's see. Marquise Brown might be a little bit of a better option. I kind of and he has bye week. What's his bye week? 8. Okay, none of my other wide receivers have that day. Let's go ahead. We'll take Marquise Brown. Hollywood Brown. And that's really all the wide receivers we need. And so if we look at who's available on running backs, and we just gotta let's just start loading up. Darrell Henderson, very much like him, will have a role in that offense regardless of what happens with Cam Newton. So let's go ahead and take Darrell. And I see another running back who I very much like, Darrell Williams. Again, back up to CEH, who does miss time last year. So let's go ahead and take Darrell Williams. So that's three great backup running backs, backing up top end RB1s. So I very much like that. One thing we do want to get is we want to get ourselves another tight end, and we want to get ourselves another quarterback. So this is about the time we should be doing that, around round 13 or so. So you can see, look, Trevor Lawrence is still on the board, Ryan Fitzpatrick. I love both those guys as backups this year, top notch. Let's see here. As far as tight ends, remember how we said we're only going to take the tight ends that the app show is available, because again, we've got to go with what will really most likely happen in an actual live draft. And what happens is there's two major places where the tight ends are taken. First of all, most of the tight ends are taken by about the 6th or 7th round, the tight end ones. And then there's a tight end 2 round, which happens around 9-10, and a big batch of them go out there, and then it just kind of flows from there. Eric Ebron, actually very much like his opportunity this year. Value is, 120th overall, not great, but a good value relative to our draft position, especially when you look at the other tight ends that are available. So I think we should go grab Ebron. And you can see, obviously, there's still a ton of others available here, but we're going off the point that these guys are all going to be gone by this point. So let's go ahead and take Ebron and just make sure, he doesn't have the same bye week as Mark Andrews. And now again, it's a long trip back. Let's see did our quarterback make it? I don't think he did. Probably didn't. Come on. Oh, he did make it. That's even better. But let's just look at the players, for the where are we? 15th round now? 14th round. Okay, so 14th round. Okay, it's telling us that defenses is a good time to take defense. We wanted to go that. Let's see here for nothing great for running backs, wide receiver, tight end. See Jared Cook, Anthony Frisker. You can see that. Oh, see, look there. Ruggs is still available. Ruggs is a good choice. But Lawrence is still here. I want Lawrence. I will take him as my QB2. Bye week 7. Oh, wait, no, he has the same bye week as Justin Herbert. That's not going to work. How about Fitz? Fitz, bye week 9. Let's take Fitz. It's a good place to take him. And we just got the short turnaround. Let's get ourselves some more running backs. And I can see that Justin Jackson is still available. Back up to Austin Eckler. Again, an oft-injured player that is not a workhorse. So let's try that. Let's add him to the list. And heading to pick number 16. So it's not recommending a lot of players here. We're getting way deep in the draft. There's only 5 more rounds. I know I'm going to do with 3 of those rounds. I'm going to take 2 defenses and a kicker. So there's not a whole lot of excitement. Browns are a nice choice. I do like their potential this year. And they have a decent early season. Let's see here. What do they got? Kansas City to start, not great. But then Houston, and then Chicago, and then at Minnesota. So I love Houston week 2. They're a good week 2. That's a week 2 streaming option there. if you're going to stream that position. Let's just look at the running backs. So Devontae Booker is back up to Saquon Barkley again. And we saw what Wayne Gallman did last year when Saquon Barkley went out. He actually was pretty decent. And so why not take that? I currently have Saquon rated as a low reliability player. He's dealt with some tough injuries the past 2 years. So that's a lot. That's a lot. And I think that's a decent choice. And let's see here. Anybody else of note? Not really. I mean, geez, we're kind of we're just kind of out of quarterbacks, out of running backs here. Not really any great options still available. Look at this. Gabriel Davis is still available. Shoot, I love Gabriel Davis this year. Dude was got just amazing efficiency on very limited volume. I'll take that. I say he's a poor man's A.J. Brown. So why not take that? And so we're at 18. So we got only 3 rounds left. So let's go ahead and get ourselves our kicker and a defense. So the kicker, and I do not expect someone like Justin Tucker to still be available here. I usually, if you take like a kicker in the 15th round, you'll get like a top 3 option. But let's just go ahead. I'm going to take Tucker because he's available. And then we'll go and look at the defenses. So if we look at the 17th round, what defenses are available? Cleveland, Miami. Oh, wait, there we go. So there's the Denver Broncos. So, let's go ahead and take the Broncos. I'm going to take the Broncos in probably every single league I have this year. I just love that early season schedule. It's so damn good. And of course, the rating hates it. It always says I've got the worst of all the starting defenses. But come on, those first 3 weeks, you play 2 rookie quarterbacks and Daniel Jones. It's going to be so good. It's going to be really good. So just trust that. And then I'm going to get one more. And again, we're going to take the rating with a grain of salt because it's going to devalue my flexes. Even though I got 2 awesome flexes with Cooper Kupp and Robbie Anderson, it's going to say they suck. And it's going to give me a terrible rating there. And because of that, it's going to tank my team. But like I said, I don't think it accounts for the actual value of the player because those players are both exceedingly valuable for the upcoming year. So I think I'm going to take the Browns as my second. So I like that. Let's see what it does. What does it say? Yes, he gives me a C. This is what it does, man. And again, it's because if we go to the projected standings, let me show you this. Watch this. All right, so we're going to go to the team analysis. See, it says I have the worst flex of any team in the league with Cooper Kupp and Robbie Anderson. Look who it has rated ahead of Cooper Kupp. Zach Moss. Chris Godwin is good. Terry McLaurin is good. Damian Harris. Again, it doesn't make any sense. And then let's see here on the flex 2, Devonta Smith, Brandon Cooks, DJ Chark. It's got rated ahead of Robbie Anderson. I don't buy any of that. Thielen, I don't think Thielen's going to be as good as Robbie Anderson this year. Fournette, Ronald Jones, Etienne is good. Javante's good. Kareem Hunt is good. So, give me 1 second. I'm going to be right back with my team analysis. All right, so I'm back. So this is my app, and we're going to look at the players I picked for my starters for this league. And like I said, they are vastly undervaluing. To say that Cooper Kupp and Robbie Anderson is the worst flex combo is ridiculous. I've got Cooper Kupp as the 31st most valuable player. He's a mid wide receiver 2. Robbie Anderson, 46th overall value. Top 50 value. Now look at this. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 6 top 50 value players in this draft. Plus I got Justin Herbert. James Robinson is probably the weakest starter of my group. And I do have some regression risk. I did take a lot of regression risk. Look at that. Herbert, Robinson, and Kamara, all regression players. But Metcalf, contract year. Andrews, contract year. Cooper Kupp, bounce back. Robbie Anderson, bounce back. And all at least 3 stars, except for Robinson. Robinson got a 2-star rating. All look at this. Just about everybody's high reliability. These guys don't miss games. Look at that. High reliability, except for James Robinson. Consistency ratings. And again, my tight end is missing his consistency rating, but he gets like an 8 out of 10. But look at this. All above average, except for Keenan Allen, who gets a 5. But everyone else is above average consistency. This is an excellent, excellent starting lineup. I would be thrilled to have this lineup. And it is not a C-rated team. That's the thing with Fantasy Pros. They're kind of making me angry with how they're doing the flex. All their other ratings I'm pretty good with. I'm pretty okay with it. If we look at their analysis of the positions, 4th best wide receiver core, 5th best tight end, 7th best quarterback, 10th best running backs. That seems a little bit low given that I have Kamara, but I can see why and I don't know why they would have Kamara behind Henry or Barkley or Taylor. That's ridiculous. Kamara is a PPR monster. Robinson obviously a little bit weak, but I wouldn't say 10th best. That's ridiculous. That's rating the group as like if I had Najee Harris and James Robinson. That's not true. I got Alvin Kamara and James Robinson. Again, it doesn't. And again, they hate the Denver Broncos. They hate them, even though their first 3 games are fantastic. And I just streamed the position anyway. So Denver Broncos are going to be a top 3 defense for the first 3 weeks. I can tell you that right now. But anyway, and the wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, that's fair. Mark Andrews, fair. I'd put Mark Andrews at 4th on this league. And Herbert, again, has upside potential. I think he's a great choice. And it's nice that we got the stack with Allen. So I think this team is better than how Fantasy Pros is rating it. And again, that flex rating is just garbage. Cooper Kupp, below Damian Harris. Give me a break. Below Zach Moss. Give me a break. Those guys aren't going to even get any touchdowns this year. They'll get like 3 touchdowns each because they got the touchdown vulture as their quarterback. That's not going to happen with Cooper Kupp. Robbie Anderson also is playing with his old quarterback. He's playing with Sam Darnold again. He's going to be fine. And he's going to be better than a lot of the other options here on this list. So anyway, that's where we're at. But like I said, on my app, it is set up for the FFPC games. So that's really cool. So I invite you to check it out. And let me know what you think. What do you think about these picks? Do you agree with Fantasy Pros? Because I think Fantasy Pros, they've got real problems with their rating system. I don't like it. But again, I still utilize their platform. So there you go. But thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Have yourself a great fantasy day, and we'll talk to you soon.